Welcome to the show, everybody. Wow. Are you ready to see some deep state, Democrat, left-leaning, progressive people who put illegals before Americans be put into jail? Well, you came to the right place. We have this huge breaking news. Trump's DOJ has now filed its first lawsuits charges against Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, Letitia James, the attorney general of New York. We have DMV chief Mark Schroeder. And guys, this is as big as it gets right now. This is the biggest thing to happen to the DOJ in so long. DOJ announces lawsuits against these people over their sanctuary status, Hochul and Letitia James. Trump told them, "You mess with us, we're FAFO, freak around and find out." Guys, this is huge. Not only that, the Justice Department has announced that because of this policy of limiting cooperation with the federal immigration enforcement, that they will all be charged, criminally charged, guys. They're not only suing the states, but they're criminally charging every one of these top leaderships. And guess what else? Last but not least, we even have it where the DOJ is going after former President Joe Biden, who we now know because of Lee Zeldin, the new director of the EPA, who has released that Biden instructed the EPA to hide $20 billion and funnel it through private NGOs to give to illegal immigrants. It's all coming out, guys. Pam Bondi, our new attorney general, said this is a new DOJ. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today. They're not only suing New York, the New York top officials, they're suing Illinois. And they said, anybody who wants to try us, you'll be next. How amazing is this justice that we are seeing? The previous administration let in over 20 million illegals, and now we have this new administration who is filing lawsuits and suing people for putting illegals over Americans. Guys, if that doesn't make you want to smash the like button, I don't know what does. That is just exciting, guys. Trump is not playing around. He has another criminal investigation that's been launched against the New York City sheriff for releasing a dangerous illegal back on the streets that had a federal warrant for arrest. So much breaking news, guys. On top of this, we just found out that the reason that Trump was able to secure the deal that now Russia and Ukraine are about to sign a peace deal ending the war is because Trump promised Russia that Ukraine would not ever be a part of NATO. And because of that, Russia is ready to sign. Guys, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's watching, guys. We've got an amazing show for you today. Thank you to all of our subscribers. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's keep growing the True Life News family. And thank you to all of our members of the channel. If you want to be a member, the link is in the description to join. And thank you to everybody that gives a super chat donation. Remember, we take this money and we give it back to charity live on stream so that you can see that we are making a difference in this world in a positive way. And just want to say thank you so much to all your support. If you don't mind clicking the thumbs up like button, guys, this is Christmas today for the MAGA party, guys. We are finally seeing justice. This is beautiful. Look at how fast it's happening. Within 3 weeks, we're already suing and holding these people accountable for their sanctuary status, for putting illegals in front of Americans, guys. And this is only the beginning. Check this out.
Institutions. To the folks in the FBI out there, are you missing this? I want to have a serious conversation with the executives running the FBI right now, because I know, like anyone else, you can tend to live in an insulated bubble. You can. Every job has it. We get lost in jargon and all this stuff. Do you not understand that the public is ready to give up on you altogether? We cannot have a country like this. We need someone fighting for counterterrorism, gathering intel on foreign threats to the United States. There are, people robbing banks out there. This is serious stuff. Do you understand you've lost the public trust? Do you think stuff like this is helping? Here's Tom Homan on Fox the other day talking about a leak about an immigration raid for serious criminals that they believe came from the FBI. Check this out.
Sorry, Tom Homan. Tom, where are these leaks coming from?
Well, look, we think it's coming from inside. And we know the first leak of Aurora is under current investigation. We think we identified that person under investigation right now. The California leak, Secretary Noem, she's correct. Some of the information we're receiving tends to lead toward the FBI. But I talked to the Deputy Attorney General all this weekend. They've opened up a criminal investigation. And they have promised that not only this person lose their job and lose their pension, they're going to go to jail. They're going to criminally prosecute. So we're all over.
Put their butts in jail.
You are going to go to jail. Do you understand that? Obstructing justice. There are probably multiple charges out there. You are going to go to jail. What are you getting out of this? Even if you're a believer in big government, the FBI is part of the government. The public does not believe in you anymore. Why would you do this? And they are going to catch you. I mean, have you ever seen the movie Miami Vice? You know how easy it is to catch leakers? You know the Miami Vice movie where they want to catch the leaker and they don't know if it's the FBI or DEA? So they feed separate information to 5 or 6 different people. And then when the leak gets out, because it's there, they know exactly where it came from. Are you stupid? You're going to go to jail, man or woman. You signed up for the FBI. Do you know how hard it was for me in my last line of work? How hard it was for me to listen to these stupid Obama speeches about big government, but I always took my job as serious as a freaking stroke because I swore to do a job, not to be a politician. But I'm a human being. I'm sitting there doing the Secret Service stance, listening to these Obama speeches like, gosh, this guy's crazy. But you do your job and you do it well. Why can't you do the same? Guys are killing us over there, man. Hope Cash cannot get over there soon enough. Folks, shifting gears, but I told you there'd be more later on the media thing. We are the media now. And they are panicking. They have tried everything to stop us, folks. Cancel culture, deplatforming, boycotts, fake charges of racism, Nazism, fascism, anything with an istaphobe, a phobia. They've tried everything. Nothing is working. We are kicking there every day. So they're now at the point where they have to make things up. So I rarely cite these losers, but because they are so irrelevant now and losing steam, now what they're doing is grasping at straws. This is Media Matters for America, a total show of clowns and losers who've been so defenestrated right now. So I see this pop up yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh, do they have to walk into the trap every time? Can they at least once not see the bear trap in front of them? So if you watched yesterday's show, you're like, Dan Bongino, this is their headline, argues that Trump should ignore the court order, blocking federal funding freeze. Okay. Bongino also said Trump should set up a courtroom in the White House and just start making judicial decisions. These leftist dipshits, when their own losers like Ayanna Pressley go out and say something like this, which I'll be candid with you, I don't think she meant it. I think she slipped up. She may, I don't know. Notice how Media Matters is silent. Did Ayanna Pressley, squad member, just say yesterday she wants to work with Americans or companies that want to censor Americans?
Listen to this, guys. This is huge.
I don't know. Play the cut.
Oh,
Look, let me tell you something. I'll take a bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
What?
But they are not serious.
Are you kidding me?
So I'm just curious, where's the Media Matters staff on that one? And she says, notice, she says she can speak for her colleagues. She sure would agree that she's willing to work with anyone that wants to censor Americans. I'm not with you. You see how we tell people the truth? She probably slipped and didn't mean to. She probably May or may not. But you notice we don't do like a piece on the website about this without giving you the caveat that she may have slipped up, because I don't want to lose my credibility with you. You see how the left-wing communist life loser mommy problems to Media Matters don't care about human dignity or their own integrity? That's why they keep getting their ass kicked.
Oh,
3 elections in a row.
Guys, let me tell you this, guys. They are so bold right now. They don't care. They know that that Trump is coming from. I was about to say where. That Trump is coming for them, guys. This is such big news. And Trump, guys, the news that has come out today is so bombshell. DOJ announces the lawsuit against New York, Hochul, and State Attorney James over sanctuary status, as well as she's going after Illinois. They just released this too, that President Trump's DOJ has launched a criminal investigation into the New York sheriff for releasing a dangerous illegal back into the community in violation of a federal arrest warrant. Not only that, guys, this is about as big as it gets. President Trump will be naming the criminals that were stealing from the American taxpayers tomorrow at a press conference. Whoa! Guys, if you're enjoying this, guys, if you're happy about this, would you please click the thumbs up like button? It really does help out the channel so much, guys. Oh my goodness. Trump said, and I quote, "I'm going to read to you some of the names that hundreds of millions and even billions of dollars have been given to." He said, they have found where a lot of people had a lot of kickbacks. A lot of people set things up in a way where they would get a ton of taxpayer dollars. Guys, it makes sense, right? Why do you think so many of these politicians are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, yet they only make $150,000 a year? Guys, this is so monumental. This is history today, guys. Check this out.
Came straight back here, so thanks for being patient with us with the delay. We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today. As you know, we sued Illinois, and New York didn't listen. So now you're next. Millions of illegal aliens with violent records have flooded into our communities, bringing violence and deadly drugs with them.
Winters joins us. Natalie, the president's being besieged on every side. Now we're going on offense again, particularly on legal. Pam Bondi put one across the bow of Letitia James and Alvin Bragg, starting with sanctuary cities. And hey, if you're breaking the law, she told them, Pam Bondi, will deal with it. I think she's going to find a lot more about what they're doing, breaking the law up there. But it's good that she, gave an introduction on the illegal alien criminal front. You've got every group on the left now, and here's the grass on this front. They're focus grouping this. They're polling. They're looking for any angle into this, and the groups are all over it. Radical judges are all over it. They're running around trying to go to every federal court in the land. The media's trying to pick themselves up and dust themselves off. It's all a little feckless and hapless right now. But they're trying to get a rally point. Natalie Winters, what do you got for us?
Sure, it's an opening bid, but I'll definitely take it. But I think this sort of signals the Trump administration's broader efforts to really double, if not triple down on all things immigration and, of course, the mass deportations. It's just been breaking over at the Washington Post that 2 of the top ICE officials, particularly the buried lead there in the enforcement wing, have been let go because reassigned because the Trump administration didn't think that they were kind of up to par in terms of the numbers of deportees and just executing the various deportation rates. But I also think to that moment, that press conference that we were watching, there was a very important question, which I think sort of gets to the heart of all of this, right? How they are sort of fomenting their resistance. And they asked about the supposed FBI leak that potentially potentially compromised a Los Angeles area ICE raid. That was a story that we had sort of discussed last Saturday on War Room. It was broken in the LA Times. They were believing that it had sort of come from an FBI source. Kristi Noem had then sort of carried on, said that over the weekend. Tom Homan confirming that earlier today. And of course, Pam Bondi then signaling that there should be repercussions and ramifications for any FBI officials who sort of worked against, basically conspiring against President Trump and ICE officials to carry out these raids. But I think that that sort of gets to the core of it, right? You're talking about opposition, whether it's coming from the embeds, as we, I think, properly refer to these bureaucrats as, or if it's coming from the media or the courts. But
Natalie, hang on. This is so mind-blowing. And it's been put in our face of how sacred the FBI is. I just want to make sure the audience understands this. Homan is setting, and these are not raids or not operations, as they call them, to maybe take the families back home and put them on a plane or do, and eventually you're going to have to get there. They're going after kind of the bad hombres. You heard MSM at 13 in New York, but they're going after the baddest of the bad hombres right now as they kind of triage this thing. The FBI, and they had a big raid planned for LA, as you know, is one of the railheads of illegal, LA County, both as a way station and as a destination. The FBI, people in the FBI leaked it that a raid was coming, thus putting ICE agents in harm's way, and I think leading Homan at the last minute to come to a tactical decision to either call off all of it or at least a significant part of it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And by the way, it was just, I think, about one day before Chuck Schumer launched his whole, Senate whistleblower portal. And of course, the idea of a whistleblower being sort of, I think, very strong sentiment among the resistance type organizations. They have very strong legal pipelines for all these kind of civil servants or FBI agents, pick your agency, to sort of become their very own version of an activist. And I think that this story in particular proves why we need Kash Patel. But remember that there was a buried lead too in that story. There was a comment sort of off the record from someone who I believe is a former ICE official saying that, well, yeah, there's definitely going to be some boots on the ground to take issue with the orders of President Trump. So they're going to find a way to resist however they choose. And that is the issue, right? That is what President Trump is trying to stop with his deconstruction of the administrative state. So all of this then goes back to the judges, what they're doing with trying to block him from doing the federal spending freezes. And just, I think it's the unitary theory of the executive, right? The ability that President Trump should be able to have, imagine this, loyal people working for him, not people who are going to leak and dox information that's going to lead to ICE agents getting killed.
Guys, this
Straight back here.
This is about as big as, today is such a monumental day for news, guys, and it just keeps getting better. Hank Mon, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. He said, bad work, Joel. Thank you so much. And Andy, thank you for the super chat. He said, Joe, if that happened, I'm going to order 2 trucks of popcorn with butter. Let's go. Y'all show Hank Man and Andy some love in the chat, as well as Ruby Hoove for gifting 1 TrueLife News membership. Let's go. Y'all show Ruby some love in the chat too. So Doge is every day, guys, releasing information, releasing more. They found that $3 million is being used to study steroids and hamsters fighting, guys. $3 million for studying how steroids affect hamsters and hamsters fighting. $2.3 million has been used for studying the cocaine effects on beagles. $600,000 in parrot romance. $500,000 in racial aggression in mice. $1.1 million training mice to binge drink. $2.1 million encouraging Ethiopians to wear shoes. You can't make this stuff up, guys. This is as crazy as it gets. And what I love, guys, is it's not just that we're getting all this news. We're getting so much transparency almost every single day. We've got Caroline Levitt. We've got the team letting us know how things are going. Check this out.
It feels like the Democrat Party is collapsing right now. Is that how you feel?
It's definitely how I feel and how we feel at the White House, Rob. And to be honest with you, it's quite fun to watch. We are keeping our heads down. President Trump is remaining focused on delivering on the promises that he made to the American people on the campaign trail. And newsflash to the Democrats, who are acting as obstructionists, hooting and hollering outside of our federal agencies here in Washington, D.C. President Trump campaigned on shaking up the bureaucracy, on making this federal government more efficient, and tapping Elon Musk to lead up the Department of Government Efficiency to cut the waste, fraud, and abuse. And 77 million Americans across the country, including in every Democrat district in this country where these Democrat representatives clearly don't care about what their constituents want. The American people voted for President Trump to do exactly what he is doing. So they better get it together, or they're going to suffer another devastating defeat just like they did on November 5th, because all of their efforts will not work. The president will remain focused on delivering on his promises that he ran on.
Yeah, I was thinking today, if there was for some reason a snap election like they sometimes have in Europe, I mean, it would just be a devastating loss for the Democrat Party. They have no support at all right now. Our new Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is suing the state of New York over its sanctuary status. The suit comes as Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, is going to meet with Tom Homan tomorrow to work on deportations. New York, as we all know, is Trump's hometown. It seems that he is very serious about cleaning New York up.
He is incredibly serious about cleaning up New York and all cities in America, for that matter. The president talked a lot about that on the campaign trail. He wants Americans to have pride in our beautiful cities that have once been the envy of the entire world and are now viewed as dumping grounds for illegal immigrants. You live in New York, Rob. I've been there many times. When you walk the streets of New York, you see our fellow Americans living like zombies on the street, overdosing on fentanyl. That's true of pretty much every Democrat-run city in this country, and it doesn't have to be that way. And so I think Attorney General Bondi is doing the right thing in filing suit against New York City. This comes following a lawsuit of Chicago. These cities can no longer be sanctuaries for illegal immigrants. The only place that the United States of America should be a sanctuary for is law-abiding American citizens. And it's beyond time that these Democrat leaders get on board with President Trump's message of putting America first, because we have homeless veterans in our streets. We have drug-addicted Americans. Fentanyl is the leading cause of death in this country for young people aged 18 to 34. Those are the priorities of the Trump administration, and Democrat leaders can either comply and put their citizens first, or they will continue to get sued for not following our federal immigration laws.
Guys, doesn't this sound beautiful, guys? Coming from the White House press secretary compared to Karine Jean-Pierre. Just want to say thank you so much for your support, guys. We got over 1,200 people watching. If you don't mind clicking the thumbs up like button, guys, it really does help out so much. Thank you so much.
Love that. We've seen some incredible movement today in the Russia-Ukraine war. First off, last night, Marc Fogel, released by Russia, flown straight to the White House. An incredible moment right there. The snow coming down and the president meeting with this man. I mean, this is... It really more than anything shows just how little the last administration cared and how quickly things can get done when you have a president that does care. And all the people that have been released, whether it's in Venezuela or in Russia, it's just incredible. But today, right after this, the president says that he spoke with Vladimir Putin today. He also spoke with Zelensky today. There's going to be a meeting here in the distant future in Saudi Arabia. It feels like this war is about to change and potentially end.
Let's go.
It was certainly a big news day on the Russia-Ukraine war front. The president was very transparent in revealing to the media, but most importantly to the American people, that he had a direct conversation with Putin. He also spoke following that call with President Zelensky, who he's been in close correspondence with since the election, and the president has been very open about that. President Trump's end goal has always been and will always be peace in Ukraine and also in the Middle East. President Trump is a peacemaker. He's a deal maker. And he has appointed an exceptional team of individuals who are highly qualified and have proven to be great deal makers themselves to continue with these negotiations. And the president continues to be deeply involved himself. And I think last night, with that beautiful sight of Marc Fogel landing at Joint Base Andrews on Steve Witkoff's plane, literally kissing the soil of America, so excited and humbled to be here, just proves how effective President Trump's peace through strength policy is. This is a man who sat in a Russian prison for 3.5 years under the Biden administration, and President Trump had him home in 4 weeks. It's a good thing, a good sign of things to come.
It certainly is. I've got like 20 seconds left, but I just want to ask you this. You have, I think, the scariest job maybe in Washington. You've handled it very well, I would say. And I mean, you have a press that, that can't stand this administration, as it always is. How are you adapting to the job? How do you like it?
Thanks for saying that, Rob. I love my job, and it's so exciting to speak on behalf of President Trump. We are doing so much. It's really hard for the media to keep up, I think. And it's hard for all of us to keep up with President Trump. He works so hard, and we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Guys, that's beautiful, guys. What I love, too, is it's America first mentality, guys. So Elon Musk posted this, and I want to show you this, guys. This is as bad as it gets, and I'm telling you, with our new director of National Intelligence, who was sworn in today, Tulsi Gabbard, this right here, posted by Elon Musk, is going to rock the entire United States. New NARA emails further confirm that the classified documents case against President Trump was a sham prosecution that involved the Biden White House from the start. Here are the documents, guys. This is about, I'm telling you, this day cannot get any better. Like, my heart is pumping out of my chest right now with all of the breaking news that we are getting, just showing that everything that has happened in the past 4 years was a sham. Thank you so much, Mr. Norby, for the super chat. Let's go. Said the Democrats can't run from this up now. They're caught with their pants down and the fingers in the cookie jars. Lock them up. Let's go. 100%. And thank you so much, Andy, for the super chat, who said USAID sent $9.3 billion to Islamic terrorist states that killed 3,000 American soldiers. Guys, this is the most heartbreaking thing. I haven't seen that yet, but I don't doubt it. Y'all show Andy and Mr. Norby some love in the chat, as well as Chip Trap, who says if they want to study the effects of alcohol and cocaine on a lower life forms, they could study Hunter Biden for free. Oh my goodness. Hey, that's a good one. Y'all show them some love in the chat, everybody. And what I love is that while all this is happening, guys, what are the Democrats trying to do? They're trying to steal the news. It's not working. They're trying to put everybody's focus on inflation and interest rates and all this, and it's not working. Watch this.
Well, look how the tables have turned. The left ignored sky-high inflation for 4 years under Joe Biden, and now those same desperate Democrats are trying to pin the January inflation report on President Trump, which rose 3% from a year earlier, even though he was barely in office.
If there's one mandate Donald Trump had, it was to fight inflation on day one. Americans woke up this morning to bad news for their bank accounts. They woke up to a grim reality that Donald Trump is not going to keep his promise to lower costs.
You got to be freaking
They
kidding
woke
me.
up. Americans woke up to an era of Trumpflation. And
Trumpflation.
unfortunately, this is only the beginning.
Are you kidding me?
And here's something you never believed. Joe Rogan and Joy Behar are in agreement. The podcast superstar and co-host of The View both say Democrats are veering off their path to redemption.
They're not course correcting at all.
Not at all,
they're saying
guys.
stupid. It's all nonsense. Like their understanding of social media and the dynamics that you set up by having completely state-controlled mainstream media, where they only said the narratives that you guys wanted. They all said it in step.
Remember when Trump used to call in constantly He was on this show. That is what they should be doing. Every time
Ambushing the
they should be
airwaves.
ambushing the airways. The Democrats, get off your butts and start doing it.
Okay, you know, the liberal left, Jesse, is really having a hard time dealing with Donald Trump and all the successes in the 22 days that he spent in office. And so they are saying right now that we've got to stop Trump, we've got to slow him down, we got to call in and make sure people don't hear him.
When I met Emma's parents for the first time, I was at the beach and I was in a bathing suit, and so were they. And I think it's the best way to meet someone because it strips you down of all of your BS. They didn't see what car I was driving. They didn't see, what clothes I was wearing. This is the Democratic Party. They are naked. They have nothing. This is who they are. They don't have the media. They don't have special counsels. They don't have big tech to censor you. All of their traditional weapons are gone. What you see is what you get. And what you're seeing
is nothing.
Are people just singing and swearing.
Yeah.
They are unpersuasive. These are the kind of people that you see on a college campus, an activist who never matured. And they never had to mature because they had all these things in their corners that allowed them to cheat and mobilize and cancel you and censor you and bully you. And that is gone. So this is the stripped down version of a true modern day Democrat. And it's embarrassing. And Greg's made the point, no one wants to have a beer with people like this.
And Dana, they still haven't come to grips with why they lost.
No.
And Hakeem Jeffries actually came out and said, we've got to find some common ground with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think if they continue to listen to people like Joy Behar, they'll stay in the doldrums. Something that came out today is that the Democrats are mad at their outside groups because the outside groups are agitating them. And they're saying, but there's nothing we can actually do. We have no power. We have no seats. We have no special counsels. We have nothing. We've lost everything. And then you can't fix a mess like that by just flooding the airwaves because what are you going to say? All they're doing is cursing and singing. And they're not persuading anybody. It's like if you were it's like you were the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Oh boy. Oh, here we go.
Oh man.
I'm doing this fresh out of my head. And
welcome to my
Andy
world.
Reid,
Yeah.
in the locker room said, just do better. And that was the only direction, and he didn't give them a new game plan. Then they were going to lose, but they all lost anyway. But they still made 22 points in the end. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that exactly. I should never tried. I should ask permission. But the other thing is, for example, today on the New York Times Daily Podcast, they talked about the constitutional crisis that's happening. And what they do, though, is they throw their hands in the air and they say, well, I guess no one cares because nobody's as smart as we are.
Yeah, well,
and
there
they don't
you
look
have
in the mirror and touch some grass and figure out what's really going on.
Can you tell us if they're smart, Greg?
You know what this is? This isn't left or right anymore. It's before and after. There's no way they can go back. The old concept of how to defeat Trump is 2023. It's not Trump they need to defeat, it's themselves. When you go to a shrink with a problem, my wife drives me nuts. The shrink isn't going to say, well, let me talk to her. I'll straighten her out. No, the shrink says to you, okay, we need to address your behavior so you can react differently to these stresses, and maybe that'll help solve the problems. They haven't yet gotten to that point, but they have to reconcile that there's no way to go back. I mean, I think America is learning, and I think it's through DOJ, especially through the transparency at educating themselves that all that crap that we went through from, during the Biden years and stuff, it didn't have to be. Trans, Soros, open border, managed decline of a country. We were told that that's how it was going to be, and you were going to love it. You were going to love, this is just how it is, and now it's like Trump comes in and goes, no. In fact, we can get rid of this. We can stop that. We can do this. Things are going to get better. You're going to feel better. Everything's going to be great. People are going like, I ain't going back. There's no way you can go back after this. So the Dems, I think, are pining for a dead lover, But just go to the cemetery, lay some flowers. Your best bet is to move on, see the world for what it is, and it's not what the media told you it was. Part of this responsibility is on the media who told them the world was totally different.
Guys, all right. I am so excited with what I'm about to show you. You're not going to want to miss this, guys. This is the exposure of President Joe Biden funneling $20 billion through EPA into private NGOs to try to get more illegals into the United States. That's what you're about to see, guys, coming from Lee Zeldin, the new director of the EPA, guys. This is huge breaking news. This is causing a DOJ investigation into the Bidens for this funneling of money, guys. I want to show you this and thank Yolanda Bacani for the super chat. More winning, baby. If y'all are loving this winning, smash that like button. Click the like button, guys. I am so excited about this. I'm showing you on screen, Doge has already saved us over $88 billion. At this rate, we're going to be in the trillions in 4 or 5 months, guys. This is phenomenal. But what you're about to see next, to me, is the exposure of the Bidens. It's the exposure of the deep state. It is the exposure of all the taxpayer monies being used for fraud. Check this out.
Hi, this is EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. One of my very top priorities at EPA is to be an excellent steward of your hard-earned tax dollars. There will be zero tolerance of any waste and abuse. An extremely disturbing video circulated 2 months ago featuring a Biden EPA political appointee talking about how they were tossing gold bars off the Titanic, rushing to get billions of your tax dollars out the door before Inauguration Day. The gold bars were tax dollars, and tossing them off the Titanic meant the Biden administration knew they were wasting it. Following this revelation, during my meetings with members of Congress, I made a very important commitment to them and to the American people, which I reiterated at my confirmation hearing that if confirmed, I would immediately get a full accounting. Fortunately, my awesome team at EPA has found the gold bars.
Right here.
Shockingly, roughly 20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution by the Biden EPA. This scheme.
I just want to stop, guys. Sorry to interrupt, but outside financial institution. Not being tracked. Not government policy, not government protocol, outside institution.
Scheme was the first of its kind in EPA history.
First.
And it was purposefully designed to obligate all of the money in a rush job with reduced oversight. Even further, this pot of $20 billion was awarded to just 8 entities that were then responsible for doling out your money to NGOs and others at their discretion with far less transparency. Just under $7 billion was sent to one entity called the Climate United Fund. I'm sure you and I now have some of the same questions. How do these organizations decide how to allocate funding? How much money have they given out so far and to whom? Are there any former Biden EPA staffers who are now working at these entities? Let me make one thing abundantly clear. At this point, there is zero reason to suspect any wrongdoing by the bank. Here's my position as EPA administrator. The financial agent agreement with the bank needs to be instantly terminated. And the bank must immediately return all of the gold bars that the Biden administration tossed off the Titanic. EPA needs to reassume responsibility for all of these funds. We will review every penny that has gone out the door. I will be referring this matter to the Inspector General's office and will work with the Justice Department as well.
Told you.
The days of irresponsibly shoveling boatloads of cash to far-left activist groups in the name of environmental justice and climate equity are over. The American public deserves a more transparent and accountable government than what transpired these past 4 years. We take our obligations under the law as seriously as it gets. I've directed my team to find your gold bars, and they found them. Now we will get them back inside of control of government as we pursue next steps. As President Trump has vowed, we are going to usher in a new golden age of American success, for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Guys, do you realize what we just heard? This just released minutes ago. Elon Musk released it on his account. That's how important it is, guys. Look at this. Elon Musk has 217 million people, and he posted this. Why? He just said the Biden administration, led by Biden, funneled $20 billion in a really corrupt way to a bank with no oversight and instructed them to give it to all these people, these NGOs and all this stuff. It was a total fraud. And now he's saying, we're going to go through the inspector generals. We're going to be talk with the Department of Justice to go after the Biden administration and the people responsible for this. Can you believe this, guys? Like this day, I'm telling you, has been so insane with breaking news. And again, too, what we're about to jump into next, guys, it's literally, it's all by design. Everything that we're seeing, all the corruption, guys, it's all by design. And I'm just so happy that I'm getting to report this to you here in real time, guys. Check this out.
Bureaucrats hidden 200 feet underground in Pennsylvania. Inside, over 28,000 file cabinets of manila folders, and there are rumors of ghosts pulling drawers open in the middle of the night. One Obama official called it that crazy cave. People inside never see a ray of sunlight. Employees enter in the dark and leave in the dark. And the mood, crabby and miserable. There's no kitchen inside, fire hazard. So if you want a meal, a pizza man with a security clearance will deliver a large cheese. One worker quit and took a new job blasting holes in oil and gas wells with explosives, saying one of the 5 worst jobs in the world was a great alternative to being down there. It's called Iron Mountain.
If you are a high compliance or high security need organization, this is the place to be. Foot thick limestone and 200 feet of stone works with their customers to design the space of their needs. With all units that
retires, his paperwork is buried in this cave. And it takes anywhere from 2 months to 6 months to get it processed. In Texas, it takes 2 days. The work inside runs at the speed of human fingers and feet, and as slowly now as it did in 1977.
Wow.
There are no state-of-the-art computers. Bureaucrats use ballpoint pens and reams of paper, ream after ream after ream. The Washington Post did a big expose on the retirement cave 10 years ago and called it a sinkhole of bureaucracy. Obama knew about the cave and tried to fix it, but failed. Barry spent millions and just ended up hiring 200 more cave dwellers.
We all know that government is slow. We all know that government can be inefficient. We all know that the bureaucracy can be bloated. We all worked in the White House. We tried to reorganize the government. We tried to find efficiency. It's hard to do.
And honestly, some of this is pretty annoying because it's some of the stuff we should have done.
Right, yeah, yeah.
The Washington Post did a whole 6-part series about bloated federal bureaucracy during the Obama years on the cave, the VA, Medicare fraud, Social Security. Even Biden was pro-Doge.
As long as there is waste and fraud in government and serious waste and fraud, people lose confidence in the ability of their government to do their job for them, deal with their taxpayers' dollars. And when taxpayers' money is wasted in a fraudulent behavior, it robs the taxpayers not only their money, but it undercuts the ability to us to serve the people we're elected to serve.
Now Democrats are screaming at Doge for cleaning up the waste that frustrated them a decade ago.
The Trump-Musk administration want to do is they want to look into your kids' lunch money. They want to take that money and give it out in billionaire tax cuts. It's about helping Elon Musk and Donald Trump be as efficient as possible in robbing our government.
Chairwoman Green literally showed a pic in our oversight congressional hearing, so I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man.
Even the media is like, really?
Do you think that calling Elon Musk a is effective messaging?
No, he isn't. Well, this just in. The guy the Democrats are calling just discovered we were spending thousands of dollars on therapy sessions for transgender refugees in Greece.
In Greece?
We obviously canceled it. Notice how none of the Democrats...
Guys, what I love is that as we're watching this, in my mind, all I'm thinking about is that the gaslighting is over. Nobody believes them anymore. Nobody believes that Trump and Elon want to go look into your kids' savings accounts. Are you kidding me? It was Biden who was trying to hire 80,000 more IRS agents. Trump said, no, let's just make them all Border Patrol agents and secure the southern border. Guys, the winning is so real. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you don't mind clicking the thumbs up like button, we really appreciate your support.
Defending these specific programs are like, hey, we definitely need Greek shrinks for trans refugees. They're just acting busted.
Elon, take your musty millions and musty Moscow rights to the moon. Because if you don't, we're going to stand up, we're going to speak out, we're going to march, we're going to do anything we need to do to make sure that the people of this country understand that the CFPB is for them. You get your musty hands off of our money or go to Moscow. You musty moo-moo-moo.
He's a musty moo-moo-moo.
He said, get your musty hands off our money. Cleaver just let the cat out of the bag. They think it's their money. It's your money. Even the media is defending this. Listen.
Some of the details that have come out, like the, $59 million spent on luxury hotels, it's actually not...
You're talking about the FEMA money that was abused for migrants? That was FEMA money for migrants? That's okay now?
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. Don't put words in my mouth.
So would you stop that? Would you stop that process?
Don't be the portrayal. What I'm saying is the portrayal by him is just not factually accurate.
Well,
he's talking about luxury hotels.
When you migrate from a farm in El Salvador and live at a Midtown Manhattan hotel for free, I'd call that luxury. Maybe not to Anderson Cooper, but definitely to Jose, who never left his village his whole life. Singing and swearing's not working, so Democrats are judge shopping. Liberal lawyers filed suit in Judge John McConnell's courtroom, an Obama appointee with a long list of donations to Biden, Schumer, Bill, and Hillary. He ruled that Trump can't freeze funds. But then he was overruled, and this thing is going all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yes,
Even
baby.
Axios is saying Trump and Doge will probably win. And if they don't, doesn't matter, because Democrats say you can ignore the court.
And the Supreme Court told me I couldn't. I found two other ways to do it.
I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. It is the justices themselves, through the deeply partisan and unfounded nature of these rulings.
Biden went around the Supreme Court to bribe college grads and bragged about it. Congress never gave him money to do that. Trump's saving money. It's unconstitutional to save money. If Congress appropriates money and an unelected bureaucrat sends it to Greek shrinks to hear about trans refugee trauma, you can't cancel that contract? Biden fired people who wanted to come to work, even though they weren't vaxxed. Trump can't fire people who don't want to come to work? If it's illegal to cut spending and lay people off, this country is going to go bankrupt. The media keeps asking the White House to bring receipts like they don't believe these programs exist. Oh, they do.
These are screenshots of contracts that Doge found across our government. This is a DEI contract, $36,000 for U.S. citizenship and immigration services. That is against the president's policies and his America First agenda. This is a $3.4 million contract, a Council for Inclusive Innovation at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Department of Commerce, another DEI contract that Doge identified. I can continue to go through these. Oh, I love this one. $57,000 for climate change in Sri Lanka. What is this doing to continue the interests of the American people? Absolutely nothing.
We paid for a terrorist's tuition and then invited him for lunch at the Pentagon and served him smoked ham. Muslims don't even eat ham. That's the kind of pork we can get rid of. The State Department spent $2.5 million to reduce emissions from cow flatulence in Brazil. How do you reduce cow flatulence? You
what?
can't change the cow's diet. All they do is graze on grass. Are they somehow capturing the flatulence? I'd love to see that. Someone got $1.5 million to monitor a mailroom, not even open or send the mail, just monitor it. How can anyone support this?
If you tell me that we should be giving money to those things, those entities, I think you'll probably have to leave as a reporter because you're not very talented. There's no chance that there's not kickbacks or something going on. When you give millions and millions of dollars to somebody that stands to look at something for 15 minutes and walks away with millions of dollars, that money's coming back in some form. And that's only one form of corruption. The biggest thing is what they do to our country. They're taking massive amounts of money and spending it on items. I went through a list of 200 expenditures that were made, and I found 3 that looked like they were reasonable.
The president hired a rocket scientist to open up America's books. He's literally a rocket scientist, the world's greatest IT guy. Math, accounting, engineering, computer science. It's child's play. Musk found more fraud in 3 weeks than the House Oversight Committee found in 30 years. When there's a problem with your computer at work, or you need to streamline the payroll system, do you call the 75-year-old partner at his 3 martini lunch? No. You call the young tech genius.
He's a super genius that's been with, okay? And when
Let's
you've been
go.
with by these nitwits that hide behind 3-letter agencies, and you're dealing with one of the smartest people alive, and he helps Donald Trump get into office, and he goes, I want to find out what kind of corruption
All
is
the corruption
really
and the
around.
waste.
Well, you up. You up and picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum. He's gonna hunt you down. He's gonna find out what's going on, and that's good. That's good for
100%,
everybody.
that's good.
How you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really corrupt and goofy systems and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.
Musk's going from department to department. Dozers are at the GSA, telling people to cancel meetings, sitting them down for interviews and asking, what do you do? Every department should have to justify themselves.
How soon do you want the Department of Education to be closed?
Oh, I'd like it to be closed immediately. Look, the Department of Education's a big con job. We're ranked, so they rank the top 40 countries in the world. We're ranked number 40th. But we're ranked number 1 in one department, cost per pupil. So we spend more per pupil than any other country in the world.
We have the worst education.
Norway, Denmark, Sweden. I hate to say it, China, as big as it is, it's ranked in the top 5. And that's a primary competitor. We're ranked number 40. So if we're ranked number 40, that means something's really wrong, right?
Democrat governors shut their schools down for 2 years, and our children's test scores flopped. And they're mad. We're doging DEI classes. Something's seriously wrong with these people. But we're not picking on people. Every department's going to get doged.
There are waste, redundancies, and head counts in headquarters that need to be addressed. There's just no doubt. Look at a lot of the climate programs that have been pursued at the Defense Department. The Defense Department is not in the business of climate change, solving the global thermostat. We're in the business of deterring and winning wars. So things like that we want to look for to find efficiencies, and many others, the way we acquire weapon system, procurement. There's plenty of places where we want the keen eye of Doge.
Golf legend Phil Mickelson is saying this: Dear Elon, please do California next. The American people voted for this. And the Supreme Court ruled that unelected bureaucrats can't make rules and regulations. So Trump...
Guys, let me tell you this. We're living in a new age. We are seeing new things being born, and it is literally America first, baby. I love it. Andy, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. He said, why can't we arrest Joe Biden with all this proof? I believe the DOJ is going to go after him in the next month or two, just like these new guys. The New York governor, the New York Attorney General, Letitia, they've all been charged, lawsuits. And I think Biden's going to be next. Thank you so much, Mr. Norby, for the super chat. Let's go. He said, love you, True Life News. The Democrats can't take this anymore or fight when they're all caught now. They can't fight against any of this. What do you think? Let me tell you this. I truly believe if they keep pushing and they keep pressing, the Democrats are going to be dismantled. They're gonna, a new party is going to be born that is more center than left. And that's going to be, there's going to be a new party born out of this because people are so fed up. And when we expose everything the Democrats have been doing, they are going to see, nobody's going to want to be a Democrat anymore or even be associated with that anymore. Y'all show Mr. Norby and Andy some love in the chat. So guys, this right here, I think is going to happen. We get taxed when we earn it. We get taxed when we spend it. We get taxed when we save it. And we get taxed when we die. It needs to end. And when I saw this, I said, you know what? With what they're doing with Doge, with what they're doing with finding all this corruption, the people that we have on the team, I believe we're going to be in such a surplus, they're going to be able to remove federal income taxes. That's what I'm praying for. But listen to this, because again, too, the Dems are fighting tooth and nail. Check this out.
The woman of the hour, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who chaired that committee today. Ma'am, to me, all I heard was Democrats saying, well, we need to keep spending money and stop asking where it comes from.
That's right. Democrats are more interested in defending the bureaucracy than defending democracy. They are so worried that we are going to actually find waste, fraud, and abuse and stop it that they are pitching temper tantrums left and right on my subcommittee. We aren't going to allow it to happen. We'll keep them reined in, but we're also going to do the important work that has to be done.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of your colleagues, your Democratic colleagues, are literally just screaming and cursing in all these protests. They don't have any arguments, but they're just saying Doge is bad. Listen to California Democrat Robert Garcia in your hearing today.
In the last Congress, Chairwoman Greene literally showed a pic in our oversight congressional hearing. So I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man.
This is so petty. And also, you were showing a picture of our current president, Joe Biden, his drug-addicted son naked, a picture that he took himself.
That's right. I was showing a picture that Hunter Biden took of himself, mind you, while he was trafficking women. And this was an investigation we did last Congress into the Biden crime family. But let's go a little bit forward there. Mr. Garcia from California has stated over and over again in all of his interviews that he isn't going to work with Republicans to save the American people money that has been spent to the point where we're $36 trillion in debt. No, he says that he's going to resist and he's going to fight me, President Trump and Elon Musk, on our Doge committee and going forward this entire Congress. Well, you know, Mr. Garcia has small business owners. He has people struggling in his district to make ends meet. And he has people in his district that are fed up with the government absolutely failing them and overspending their money. So they'll make that decision when election time comes.
Congresswoman, I admire your restraint because one of the people you had to sit there and listen to today, Democrat, obviously, Jasmine Crockett. And, you know, like, how is this happening? And I don't know about that, but this is what she had to say today.
I don't understand. If you are trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech guy. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have auditors. I would welcome auditors to come in and do forensic audits.
Ma'am, one of the people that Elon Musk has hired to do these audits literally wrote an AI program to decode the scrolls of Pompeii that no one else was able to do. I'd say he's qualified to do an audit.
Well, that's a little bit above Ms. Crockett's intelligence level, so she doesn't really understand that. The reality is Democrats like Ms. Crockett, Mr. Garcia, pitching their temper tantrums and not being serious about our national debt is exactly why we will win in the midterms. And, you know, if they want to get serious and work with us, I'm happy to do so. But if they continue to make fools and clowns of themselves, they're only going to make the case bigger for us that we are in the right, they are in the wrong. And having the help of Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, the most successful man in the world, we're honored to have his help. And this is exactly what President Trump campaigned on.
But ma'am, again, going back to this, I have not heard the Democrats make a coherent point as to not looking further into this stuff. Everything they've said over time and time again is, hey, we should stop looking into this. Hey, we spent $10 on a good thing here, so we should waste $1 billion over here. What is their logic?
Well, in all fairness, I really haven't heard Democrats make a coherent point, maybe ever. So I can't really describe or understand what their logic is. We know that we're on the right side of history. We know that this is a problem for all Americans, and Democrat voters know that as well. So I look forward to more hearings, and the next one coming up will be USAID. That will be an explosive hearing. It's one that every American will want to see, and so I hope you guys will be tuning in.
Well, and also they're trying to block some of these things from coming out from Elon Musk under classification, things like that. So you guys, just to be clear, are going to expose everything and put some sunlight on it?
Absolutely. Not only that, though, let me tell you, I'm one of those members of Congress that gets tired of committee hearings that don't produce results.
Yeah.
After each of my committee hearings, within days, we'll issue a report with legislative action and our referrals and what we plan to do.
Guys, let me tell you this. Is that not beautiful? What we are seeing, what we are hearing. Guys, I just want to say today's been a phenomenal day for news. Happy for MAGA, guys. I love it. Want to thank Marie, Seven Souls, for joining the TrueLife News family. Let's go. Y'all show Marie some love in the chat, guys. Want to say thank you for watching. To all of our subscribers, thank you so much for your support. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, guys. And if you enjoyed today's show, you got value out of it, and you are loving the winning, smash that thumbs up like button, guys. Clicking it really does help out the channel so much. It really does. I just love that we're seeing so much good news. It's three to 4 weeks in, guys, and we're seeing such amazing news. Want to thank Hank Mon for the super chat, Andy, Ruby Hoove, Mr. Tracy J. Norby, Chip Trap, Yolanda Bacani, Maria Seven Souls. Y'all show them some love in the chat, guys. This is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. Democrats are freaking out. MAGA is loving it, and we are putting America first. I love you all. Appreciate you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.